How many of you remember the movie from the 90s called Indecent Proposal? The premise of the movie, in case you're not familiar with it, is this Demi Moore is this hard-on-her-luck woman, and her and her husband go to a casino in Las Vegas where she encounters Robert Redford dressed in a tuxedo, and he is so taken and smitten with her that he offers the husband $1 million to spend the night with her. All misogynistic tendencies aside, it's kind of a cool idea. It's kind of cool to think you are so desirable that somebody wants to spend $1 million to be with you. And I have my own somewhat indecent proposal story, or maybe not so much. About 25 years ago, I met a girlfriend of mine for a girls' weekend. We went to Atlantic City. At the time, there were two places in the States you could gamble, Atlantic City or Las Vegas. Atlantic City, even though I don't gamble, had an oceanfront hotel and all you could eat lobster. We thought that was a pretty good win. So we went to Atlantic City for our girls' weekend. And again, we don't gamble. So I don't understand gambling. She doesn't understand gambling, but we have all you can eat lobster. So we're happy. We're going by the boutique, we see the designer dresses, and I said, where's Robert Redford when you need him? Yeah, I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna come see us and buy us a dress, right? So that didn't happen. But we decided to cruise around through the casino and just kind of take in some people watch some of the action, and we walked by the craps table. And it was empty, there was an empty table, and we see the two guys standing there kind of bored. And I said, I've never really understood the game of craps. By the way, just spoiler alert, I still don't. However, so of course they want to explain because their goal is to get us to play craps. So we're standing there and they're explaining the craps game to us, and we're still like, And there's a reason that there's beautiful casinos, and those places are not built on winners, but we're just sitting there listening and trying to learn. And a man I can presume was a regular comes up. Now, no matter how hard I squint to this day, he's still not Robert Redford in a tuxedo. However, this guy comes up and he's in his satin baseball jacket with a Tropicana logo ironed on. And he looked like he had perhaps shaved through a screen door. And he comes up to the table and he says, so how's the action tonight? He's holding not a stack of chips, but one. And he was a regular, and like, hey Frank, how's it going? And he says, well, this is my kind of table. I don't like to play at a busy table. And he's like, so you girls playing? And we're like, no. And he's like, oh. And he goes, well, I don't like to throw the dice either. You want to throw the dice? I was like, pick me. And so he said, would you throw the dice for me? Now, this is about as close to indecent proposal as it gets, because again, no matter how hard he squinted, he was not Robert Redford. No tuxedo, satin jacket with a baseball satin jacket with a Tropicana iron on, not a tuxedo. So I take the dice and he takes his one chip. And he sits it down and I'm holding my bags and I roll the dice. And whatever I rolled was good, because he said, yeah, baby, go! And he won. And so now his stack of dice or stack of chips was this big. And he's like, keep going. So for literally the next 10 minutes, I just kept throwing dice. I don't know what I was doing, but Frank did, and he was very happy because his stack of chips is growing. And a crowd gathers around the table, and then also the pit bosses come and stand there. And they think we're cheating or something. They think we've got some sort of scam going. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like getting into the excitement of it. And finally, my luck had run out, and Frank's got pockets full of, he's stuffing it into his baseball pockets and everything. And my girlfriend goes, they think we're cheating. Again, I've watched too many movies because all of a sudden I'm thinking I'm gonna be sleeping with the fishes. So my girlfriend and I, as soon as we get done with our lucky roll, we walked away. It wasn't my money, it wasn't my gambling. And everybody's asked me since then, well, did he give you a tip or did he buy you a drink or anything? I was like, no, we just walked away. It's kind of anticlimactic. Nobody offered me $1 million. Nobody bought me a designer dress. But I still feel very fortunate because I never picked up the gambling habit, so I haven't ever lost any money gambling. And I also am here to tell a great story. Thank you, everyone.